Welcome back everyone to Pineleaf Plays the Lore Master. And we'll start today by seeing what's in the Hobbit presents. Some marks. And some shoes. Some really nice shoes too. Wow. That's a major step up. Now let's see what this ranger has for us.
What can I do for you?
Ah, very good. These will do quite well. My thanks for your efforts. Well, let's see. Do we want the... I'll take the healing pots. And now for the herbs and
Hail,
simples.
friend, and well met.
Not for herbs and simples, the feathered foes. Ah yes, Hendraval. Strange birds. Violently hostile. Even to creatures much larger than themselves and very territorial. Yet they can be trained. Hendriville have been used occasionally by orcs and evil men in the past, but for the most part their malice is wholly natural. So the Longbeards of Ortharkar fear their Dourhand rivals are using these birds as spies? It may be so in truth. Unlike some other hawks and falcons, the Hendrival of the northern hills favor a mass roosting ground. They care little for their chicks, and like as not, this is where the Dourhands gather the fledglings to be trained. I would counsel you to seek out this roosting spot. No doubt it is in seclusion in a corner of the hills. And now we go back to Ortharkar for that. Now make sure I have... What are the quests I have in the North Downs? I still haven't gathered meat from bears? And the rune canner, I still haven't done that one either. Alright, so many things. Alright, let's take that off for now. I've got so many quests here. Well, here is a bear at least, so I could take care of that one along the way. Yep, collect bear meat. I've been avoiding all those bears, forgetting that I had a quest to actually collect meat from them. Alright. Now let's find... Well, I don't want to go after... I don't need to go after every cat in the area. I'm pretty sure I don't have any more quests with those. Now I'm here at the bridge, so I might as well go and turn in that quest with that collar so I can get that out of my quest log. But you don't need to see me ride all the way to Amon-Wraith, so I'll be back in a moment. We are now approaching Amon-Wraith. And now let's talk to this other ranger to see what he has to say. Oh yeah, test bullet-moors. I noticed that in Bull Roarer they are going to be removing the limits on tasks in update 13 so that if you're a couple of levels over, you can still turn in the task without any trouble. Now I'm sure that if you're way over level, it'll be gray, you get minimal experience, so it might not be worth it unless you're just trying to fill out your... Actually, I don't think they have any here, so I can't show you any rep. Yeah, there isn't any left, but that will no longer happen. It'll at least tell me what was there. So if there was rep there, I could still get the rep for it at least.
Greetings.
Ah, this collar is a fell thing, but it is good that you have found it. This is Krishgog's collar, lost in half an age ago. I gather it has been passed from war to war, and you found it by chance. It was once used to bind Krithgorg to the service of Angmar. Perhaps it will once again bind him, but this time to his doom.
Might I take a moment of your time?
And this is going to send you to Fornost. If it is true that the forces of orcs and Ogmarin within Fornost have created a fell wight from the corpse of Krithnog, then we must ferret out the beast and end its existence once more. Fortunately, this old collar may prove the key. It bound the warg once, and may do again. There, I've inscribed a rune of Elbereth. Take this collar up once more, and I will draw the beast to you. It will draw the beast to you, if you can find the right place to set it down. You will need to search the location within Fornost where Kirkhoff may be hiding. No doubt it will be very deep, dark warren, yes, with lots of wargs. Obviously I don't need that up immediately. But yes, it is in fact in the 4th wing, so you have to go through the first 3 wings in order to unlock it. It is late in the wing, so yes, it is definitely deep down.
What can I do for you?
So it is late, it is deep down, but you can eventually get there if you want to bother doing all 4 parts of Fornost. Now fortunately it is before the boss, and that's good because that boss fight in Fornost can be a little bit of a challenge. And that translates into, I'm not 100% whether or not I've ever actually completed it. Actually, if you've got a group that works together, it shouldn't be too much trouble. But if you have a random group of people all together, thrown in a jumble, not used to working together, little undermanned, some people above level, some people below level, you can see how things can go a little bit off. And if you want to see how far off they can go, you could see the latest edition of LOTRO Players Adventures, which was concerning the various wings, especially the fire and the shadow. Oh, actually, I didn't need gold all. I didn't need silver all that much, but oh, it's rich silver. Old habits die hard. Now, if it were gold, then I can see a better excuse for it. Alright, now let's go back into here, and we want to handle these other items here. Now, we also have the aurochs to take care of. Right. Oh, blunting spear, half. It's hard to tell which of these is which. Darhand plans and still deeds for. Alright, well. Maybe okay, I'll just have to kill the Aurochs and it'll pop up the quest for me automatically. That's one way to handle that. I might as well take care of a bear or 2 while I'm here. And I bet I'll try to work my way up to the elf camp. The one problem is, of course, is that, oh, don't go away! I need to kill you! Alright. Unfortunately, I won't have too many opportunities for bears on the way to the elf camp because they're off in opposite directions from one another. But I think I do want to, as long as I'm not in this area. These things are aggressive. I don't want to have him attack me while against the bear. I don't want to need to go up to the elf camp at a much later time. At least getting back from the elf camp, I can at least take a rented mount for that. Now, other news from Bullroar is that Update 13 is being delayed until early April. So we do have a little bit more time than I thought in going through this pre-Update 13 series. So that's something I need to keep in mind on my timing, since obviously I don't want the Runekeeper to get too far, but I could spend a little bit more time in the Lone Lands than I was originally planning there. As long as things don't get too tough on me. Now the other news is, well, that's the main bit of news, is one that we have update. So that update 13 delayed, and that tasks are going to be changed in their level range. Well, not necessarily the level range for ideal turning in, but the level range which you are allowed to turn them in. So they work like other quests. You can turn them in as long as you meet the minimum level requirements. Alright, we're past the area where the bears are located. So it should be a quick run all the way up to the elf camp. Trying to see if there are any other things I can remember about Update 13. Well, it is nice that they said that first aid is no longer going to need a weapon for the wardens. That was one of my big annoyances. If you saw any of my Warden series with the various skirmishes, you'll notice every time I run into a bearer of blight or into the any other disarmor that you have, it was always annoying because now I have to pick up my weapon and wait for my weapon to go or use up a wound pot every time one of those things decides they want to hurt me. Now we are here back at the elf location. Ah, I see. A quest ring. Hello, do you know anything about runes?
How can I be of service?
You have come from Reagan at Othrakar? Strange days are these, when Longbeard asked for an elf for aid. Let me see these records. Ah, it appears that it was an elf who found these dwarves' loads in the first place. That explains the writing, and perhaps also why the dwarves of old never mined the load, being too stubborn in those days to ask an elf for help. It appears that these records refer to a map that must have once been included with them. I hope Reagan has the map, for the records are not detailed enough to stand on their own. I will write out such letters, and Reagan should be able to no trouble in reading. Here you go. Please give my compliments to the dwarves. Alright. So obviously we are going to have to find the map, and that with the records are going to give us our answer. Now let us go back here.
Sweet-eyed Malon.
And we'll go over to Othrakar. And while we travel along, we will take a little break. I would like to also get a few bears. So I dumped off here, and we will get our last few bears on our way to Othrakar. There's one down. Gold. Ooh, there are gold in these hills. Alright, now another thing I noticed in the release notes is that they will be adding the symbols for creating first agers. Now, being able to create first agers, being able to craft first agers just sounds like a completely ridiculous idea in my opinion, but That's the way things work. And that's the way things work, so that's what we'll have to live with. So therefore, the symbols for reshaping first stagers are going to be made available, and they'll drop in tier 3 skirmishes, with skirmishes being made a little bit tougher. Perhaps that means that we'll see how much difference that makes. Now, it doesn't say skirmish raids, so I don't know whether they meant everybody's going to know that means raids, or if that means you could theoretically get one in a solo. But if you consider the chance of getting a Starlight Crystal in a solo skirmish, oh well. I didn't meander enough, and I didn't get that last bear. So I'll have to deal with that. Maybe have to come back for the last two. Actually, we'll go to this guy first. Alright, here it is written out in plain
Well met, friend.
Westron. So, we're missing a map, eh? I wonder. Oh, well, thank you for your work. What? Just like that?
Come and stay a moment, friend.
I believe the map must have been taken by the Dower Hands. They must have left the old records you found because they couldn't read them. But I'd guess that the map is in the hands of the Dower Hands foreman who used to have my job. Unless I miss my mark, I'd say that Foreman Nyrad is with many of the other Dower Hands at the camp to the north. That is a big request, but if you can get that map back from the foreman, I think we'd be able to find the father lode at last. I suspect you'll find the map at the chest of the Foreman Nyrad's tent in the camp, but he might also be carrying it around on his person. And I always forget which of the two is the actual case. I think you have to kill him.
What do you need?
A breeding ground, is it? I wonder. And thank you for your assistance, Pinewolf. When we have discovered the location of the roosting ground, I may have need of you again.
Might you lend me an ear?
I think I know where it is now. From what other scouts have told me, I think I know where the Hendreville roosting ground is, and yes, this is a fellowship quest. If I remember correctly, it involves killing lots and lots of nasty ones that I think I'm going to skip, as is customary in this particular one, where you have solo quest, solo quest, solo quest, solo quest, solo quest, group quest. That's typical in this. Now let's go back and take care of the last couple of bears. And we will where are they? Never had so much trouble finding bears in this particular location. I should have been killing them all along. Alright, that's 11. Oh, right here's my last one. Alright, that's 12. I am going to kill this cat just for a little extra XP. It's so close to getting to level 31. This is the time. Ooh, gold. Oh, now I get an extra bear. Now I'll find bears everywhere. Actually, the gold gives me an idea. If I don't reach level 31 from the quest turn-in, then between episodes I will do a little crafting. And that should get me up to level 31. Nope. I'm not going to worry about that. So back up here. Nice dark sky. Now, I'm not too sure all those stars will be clearly visible when so close to the moon like that. Used to a full moon. Alright, now. This way? Okay.
Might you lend me an ear?
Oh, that's the guy with... Oh, I was right. That's right, it's the other guy. That's the guy who's trying to get me to kill lots and lots of... Lots and lots of birds and dour hand keepers and all that stuff. Bears.
I am at your service.
Good, good. This meat should last us a while. Thank you for your help.
Welcome. You've come at a most fortuitous time.
It seems there is, after all, one last farmer of the North Downs. A fellow named Gatson refused to leave his lands to the orcs. You remember him. It may be that there is still grain to sell to us. If you would, pay Gatson a visit to learn if this is true. Tell him we will pay him good silver for his produce. Gatson's farm is not too far south of the hills. So this is actually where you get sent to the... Oh no, it's level 28, but the quests for him are a little bit earlier, so I don't guess that isn't the intended route. Things looks like they'll flow a little bit better when we have the release. But I'm going to take off from this point, where I will do a little crafting, and I will be level 31 then. So we'll be level 31 for the next episode of Pineleaf Plays, The Lore Master.